Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where it is time to leave our flawed biological vessels behind. The machine age has begun. So this is the 3.12 Andromeda update, or I guess 3.12, and focuses primarily on cybernetics, synthetics, and machines. So that is absolutely cool, and we're definitely going to be doing that for sure. This is of course Carpetania, but nothing says that Carpetanians can't decide to go cybernetic. So we absolutely could do something along those lines. We're gonna hop directly into a new game. This is a new menu layout, I think. Okay, this is more like what I'm expecting to see. So we're going to create a new one, and it is going to have to start off as like humanoids, right? Absolutely, that's what we're going to have to start as Carpetanians, but we're going to go with a background that's a little bit different, for sure. We're going to go with one of the new ones. And you might ask which one? Well, as usual, Dark Horse has set out a path for us here. So we're going to proceed forward. Species name is, of course, Carpetanian, with the plural being Carpetanians, not Crapetanians. That would have been interesting, but no, we're doing Carpetanians. Carpetanians. Can I spell? Yes. The adjective is Carpetanian. So something along the lines of that. Excellent. We're going to be going with humanoid names, but we might go with like the UNE names, and instead of ISS, we're going to go with CAR, of course. There we go. Perfect. I don't know what that stands for, but it stands for something. So what traits do we want to go for? Well, what have the Carpetanians been throughout history? I mean, kind of none of these. Apparently we can't scroll these when we have UI scaling on anymore. Okay, that's exciting. We'll have to scroll it with the mouse wheel. That's fine. That is absolutely okay. I think we're going to come back to the traits in a little bit. So our homeworld is going to be Earth. That's pretty much guaranteed. Toxic God's Soul. I mean, probably not. Void Dweller's Soul, Shattered Ring, Ocean Paradise. We'll probably just end up going with the Soul System. And the homeworld name is going to be Earth, with the star name being Sol. Okay, so this is going to be a continental world. That is absolutely fine. Now we need to do our origin. And can we use this scroll bar? No, we can't. Okay, so this is due to the UI scaling and the way that works. That's fine. We can use the scroll wheel. It's okay. So we're going to be going for some of the new ones, or rather one of the new ones, which has already been chosen for us. This will be the synthetic fertility. So this blocks all ascension paths except for synthetic ascension. It is time to abandon the flawed organic vessels that imprison our minds. By transferring our neural patterns into synthetic bodies, we will achieve a higher state of being. So once a thriving society, a novel genetic disease has left this species unable to reproduce. Running out of options and facing extinction, they place their hope in digital salvation. So that gives us +9 pops and pathogenic genes, which means pop decline speed plus 100%. Cannot colonize planets or be resettled. Cannot reproduce naturally. Okay, so there will be some abandoned cities. An identity repository. Houses 3 identities. Okay. Interesting. An abandoned gene clinic that cannot be demolished, replaced, or repaired. And we get rapid identity preservation as our situation. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have to work our way out of that pretty quickly. So with that in mind, let's go back to our traits and figure out what this ends up meaning for us. Obviously, that means we don't want to take things like... Well, where are we here? Yeah, we don't want to take things like rapid breeders. We can't with this current trait. So there's a lot of things that are going to be unlocked here. Now, this trait is required. We could definitely go for agrarian, but I don't want to do that. Industrious is probably a pretty decent thing to do. But intelligent is very good. We do very much like the research. So we could go for that. We've got 3 trait picks left. We should go for a negative one, and then 1 to 2 positive traits, probably. So we could go for, say, slow learners. That kind of makes sense, actually. I kind of like that. Now we could go for either a level 2 trait, or we could go for 2 level 1 traits. So we could go for something like Industrious and Ingenious. Actually, we can't do that. That would be 4 total points. We definitely can't do that. We could do one or the other, or we could go for Conservationist to reduce our consumer goods upkeep. I like that. That would go kind of along with what we were trying to do in Hearts of Iron somewhat. We could also be Noxious, but I don't think we will. Maybe... What would we want here? Communal would be interesting. Yeah, let's do Communal. That'll be fine. So something along these lines, then. Our city appearance is going to be a humanoid city, for sure. And then we've already chosen our origin. We need our government and ethics. Now, we cannot be a Gestalt consciousness, correct? Oh, wait, we can use this scroll. Okay, fantastic. But we can't use this one. I don't know. We cannot have Gestalt consciousness, and we cannot be spiritual. Okay. So that is reasonably fine. What do we want to go for? Probably, since we're going to be going for robot bodies, we probably want to go for Materialist in some way. So maybe like Fanatic Materialist, and then something out over here, perhaps Authoritarian. That is definitely indicative of what we were doing previously. So Authoritarian would not necessarily be a bad thing there. So our authority would be, it could be oligarchic or dictatorial or imperial. I'm kind of leaning towards Imperial. We were definitely fairly Imperial previously. So that gives us resources from jobs in our capital system. And also gives us max influence from power projection, and will increase our edict fund a little bit. I guess we could go for a despotic hegemony here. That would be reasonably fine. So what civics would we want to go for here? Well, we could still have a feudal society, but honestly, we did move on from a feudal society, so that isn't really a thing. Heroic past, on the other hand. That's interesting. It doesn't... Well, it does give us capacities for officials, commanders, and scientists. I'm not sure exactly how that works. That seems to be new. So that's interesting. We can grab that and see what that ends up doing. That may be a mistake. Armor hit points plus 1% is decent. Monthly unity is pretty good. It's just a council position, though. Mining guilds is probably not terrible. But what do we want to go for here? There are a bunch of potential options. Researcher upkeep reduction. Vaults of knowledge, huh? Well, that might actually make some sense here. Because we're storing past personalities, right? So we could grab Vaults of Knowledge. Heroic Past and Vaults of Knowledge could be interesting. There's definitely been a time jump here, no doubt about it. To be clear, we're going to be starting in 2200, so there has been a 230-year time jump. So that's absolutely fine. We're going to grab our advisor voice. What is the materialist voice?
No, it'll be fine. I'm telling you, just turn off the fail-safes and... Wait, is this thing on?
It will be fine. That's absolutely fine. So our empire is the Great Carpetanian Hierarchy. I kind of don't like it. I'm just going to go with Carpetania. We are just Carpetania. Now, as far as our flag goes, I don't know about this squid. I don't know about that. We've never really had a specific Carpetanian flag. So what would we be interested in going for? Maybe something under human here. Actually, this is kind of an interesting, like, hammer and sickle sort of scenario, but like a space communism thing. It's kind of along those lines, but we weren't communist. We were fascist. So really, it should be something more along the lines of this. Or even like this, but I'd say that this would probably be a little bit better. As far as our colors go, historically our colors have been leaning towards the green side, right? So I kind of think that our primary color should be like a green here. And then our secondary, I don't know, I feel like a blue goes well with that. So something kind of like this. I kind of like that as our flag, actually. That's interesting. Yeah, we can go with that. So our ship appearance is going to be humanoid. Perfect. And then, as far as our ruler appearance goes, it doesn't really matter any of this. Greeting phrase? What is this? Okay, that's new. Interesting. We're just going to get a random ruler name. None of this matters. This is all fine. Ruler traits. Okay, so this is definitely new. We can have the leader class be a scientist, commander, or official. It was defaulting to official. We'll probably stick with it being that way. So we have one trait point that we can do. Stability +2, infiltration speed and operation cost, minerals from jobs, edict upkeep, docked ship upkeep and army upkeep reductions, leader experience gain, stability, and amenities. But that requires a Gestalt consciousness. Okay, so that's definitely interesting. I guess we can go for just free stability? Sure. This should be interesting. No doubt about that. We're going to save Carpetania here, and let's hop in. So it's not eligible for achievements, and it's not going to be eligible for achievements, because I'm not going to play on Iron Man mode. But otherwise, we're going to see what we can get done here. Let's crank that up to 1,000 stars. And the galaxy shape being elliptical, I don't know. I kind of prefer... Is there a random option? I wish there was a way to randomize the galaxy shape. That would be nice. I kind of prefer spirals, generally. But there are some new ones here. Spoked, cartwheel, starburst. I'm not sure what all of these are. It's probably fine. We can try it on starburst and see how that goes. So all of this I'm going to leave exactly as normal. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be playing on Grand Admiral difficulty with scaling difficulty on. That seems reasonably fine. And this all looks good. It's not eligible for achievements, but that's fine. Let's hop directly in. Eventually it will load. It shouldn't take too long to load, in theory. Emphasis on in theory. Okay, it's taking a little longer than I expected it to, but it's absolutely fine. So, how are we going to go about doing this synthetic ascension, I wonder? That's going to be interesting. I'm sure there'll be, like, a situation that we can work through to handle it, but this is definitely going to take our focus at the beginning of the game. No doubt about that. Early forays into artificial consciousness were revolutionary, giving rise to a fully digital community and blurring the lines between the physical and virtual worlds. The success was so great that we grew complacent, believing we had countless generations to innovate and explore. We were wrong. When a novel disease attacked our genetic code, we lost the ability to procreate. A cure eluded our brightest minds, and panic grew as the population aged and dwindled. In desperation, we expanded our digital storage, creating enough space to preserve our identities. But is this truly the existence we desire? Our focus now shifts to developing synthetic bodies and a positronic brain sophisticated enough for us to remain in the physical world. Okay, so digital salvation, huh? Lacking a medical solution, our best chance for survival lies in digitizing our population within the identity repository. However, this is a stopgap solution, and a plan is already in place to develop synthetic bodies and a positronic brain of sufficient complexity. We estimate that we have enough time to complete the research with a focused effort. Using cutting-edge AI, our best experts have already drawn up the blueprints for robotic bodies, the first step to our synthetic salvation. This must work. So we gain the research option, artificial workforce, and 25% progress. Okay, so we definitely need to get that. Let's take research station output. Let's grab planetary unification, and we have to take artificial workforce. We have to be able to build robots. So that'll be fine. We have rapid identity preservation, but we must be researching robotic technology. We are researching that. So presumably this will update once we get going on that. And we are going down by 0.1. Interesting. We could definitely go to a research focus here. That'll boost our research speed. So basically, when this goes away, our physical forms will have expired by this point. Our population will be fully digitized. Okay, so that is just a matter of time. Understood. That is absolutely fine here. Government and ships are separate tabs in the outliner. I like that a lot. That's really good. That's really neat. Okay, so here on Sol, we can have a trait pick for our governor, apparently. None of these are fantastic. I guess we'll go for ship build speed. It's not very important, though. So this is our vaults of knowledge here. Okay. And that's our abandoned gene clinic. This is our identity repository. Okay. So we can only build one per planet. That is fine. Let's see what we've got going on for our civilian ships here. So we've got the CAR James Cook. And that should definitely head out to Alpha Centauri. We'll go survey that. Where are we? Oh my, this is quite the galaxy setup. So it's basically Spiral, but it's missing a couple of arms. No, it's not. They are there, but barely. The density on those arms is significantly lower. Okay, well, we're in an interesting spot here for sure. I do want to check here. So 322, we should probably be grabbing this science research first, so we're going to head out over there. Okay, let's tick on forward on fast speed. Actually, we do have available leader traits. So our Overlord could grab a trait here, stability +4, experience gain, agenda speed, or happiness. Agenda speed seems good. Okay, for our head of research, research speed +6%, that is very good. For a Minister of Defense, army damage and army collateral damage is mediocre at best. Naval capacity, I suppose, but I'm not planning on building any additional naval ships just yet. So that... Oh, this is new too. I accidentally opened the console there. There's been some additional changes here. There's this debug view window. Now, this is not new to, like, Paradox games in general, but this is new to Stellaris. Okay, interesting. Well, we're not going to use that, ideally. So we're going to proceed forward here and get all of these things completed. Our pops are declining on Earth due to their pathogenic genes. Yes, that is fully and completely expected. So here on Earth, we do have unemployment. That's noted. But there's not a lot we can do about that right now. We're maxed out on our district count, although we do have tile blockers. We should probably be clearing off some of these tile blockers, but we lack the energy credits and the minerals to do it. We have a new heir, okay, and that of course means that our deputy overlord can grab Spark of Genius 3. He doesn't actually have a council position though, so that's fine. We have an idle leader, and who is that? That's our deputy overlord. Well, that's fine for now. Okay. So this looks reasonably good for the moment. When are we going to finish up artificial workforce? 97 months, apparently. The CAR James Cook has found alien life. Okay, I'm not going to read through all of these unless it is specifically new. We've read through these a bunch of times. So society research gained, fantastic. So we finish up construction around Triton. Next, I want to build around Juno for these 2 minerals here. That will be very, very useful for us. Simple forms of life have been discovered. That's absolutely fine. And we need to set up our first contact protocol. So are we going to greet them with open arms? Are we going to be cautious? Or are we going to be aggressive? We're going to be cautious here. A toxic terraforming candidate has been discovered. Okay, we may or may not take that Ascension perk. I'm not sure if we even can. We'll have to see. So this is going down by 0.1 per month, so that means we have 363 months to get this solved. That's plenty of time, because our research is going to be done in 83 months. So that sounds very good.
Construction project concluded.
Excellent. Let's head up to Io and grab those resources. Now, we can grab a tradition, and what tradition do we want to take here? Well, are there any new ones? Synthetics is definitely something that we're going to want to take, but we don't have the technology to take this yet. So we're not going to do that one yet. I think we may want to still go Discovery first. Yeah, that 10% research speed finisher effect is so good. We have to take it. So we're going to take Discovery for right now. Excellent. And that means that we've unlocked a council agenda. That's okay. For the time being, we're not too concerned about our council agendas. So on Earth, I do want to work on clearing off one of these tile blockers, so we'll do sprawling slums here. Excellent. And there's a lot of worlds out here on Alpha Centauri. This one's a tropical world with 0% habitability. I'm surprised a tropical world has 0% habitability. Oh, it's because we can't actually colonize. Right. We wouldn't be able to yet. We can't colonize yet because colonies are pointless because we're all dying. So that is, of course, a minor problem for us.
Construction project
No doubt about
concluded.
that. We just finished up over in the Sol system.
clear.
We're going to move over to Alpha Centauri, and we finished clearing that tile blocker on Earth. So that is fine. We're going to continue to work on getting these tile blockers cleared. So the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is going to be removed in a couple of months here. That's fine. So this is all good for now. We just, of course, need to get
Council
this
agenda
research
ready.
completed. 65 months on that. So we have a council agenda here. We can launch infinite opportunities, and that's fine. We want to set a new agenda here. Probably... That's interesting. A lot of unity there. That would help us get through this tree very quickly. Let's do it. So that seems absolutely fine. We do have a tradition available, and we are going to grab survey speed increase. There we go. That looks good. And the real question is, what are we going to end up going for after we become robots, right? What is our overarching ideology of robots? Well, I believe that means that everyone needs to become robots, right? There needs to be no natural pops, only robots. That sounds right. Sounds like a very, very good thing to go after, for sure. So what do we got here? We have a continental
System
world, a tropical
survey
world, and an
concluded.
arid world? Okay. We also just found an anomaly over here in Alpha Centauri. It's only 84 days. We're going to research that. So that sounds great. We're also going to immediately begin work on a starbase here. Excellent. Now, we don't really know what's going on out over here. This is towards the end of this arm, so we might be in a really good spot here. Okay, Proxima Centauri b is inspiring us. And we'll add another exoplanet to our growing list. Okay. So we can grab databank uplinks, although this wouldn't... Well, research station output increasing by 20%. That would be pretty decent. And research from starbase constructions, although we don't have any starbase constructions as of right now. That's reasonably fine.
Construction project
Okay, so we're done in
concluded.
Alpha Centauri. We'll build our mining stations there. Now, back on Earth, I want to continue to clear off the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That'll take about 6 months, and we'll do the Industrial Wasteland after that. Now, these abandoned cities are going to take quite a long time to have the resources to be able to do anything about. That's okay. We'll get these tile blockers cleared for now. So that looks reasonably fine for the moment. And Alpha Centauri
Blocker
is
clear.
going to be a good colonization source for us once we're able to actually colonize. That would be a very good thing, right? No doubt about that. So we're going to be flipping over to robots eventually. Everyone will have to be digitized, and that is absolutely understood. That'll be in 36 months here.
Construction project concluded.
Excellent. Well, that was very, very quick to get
Blocker
everything
clear.
done in Alpha Centauri, for sure. We're not actually researching anywhere, are we? I want to head out over this way, and I'm also thinking we should probably build a second science ship at this point. I don't want to build a second construction ship. I think that would be overkill at this moment. We have to take the science division here, which is fine. We're not concerned about that. Actually, we should have this science ship head out to Procyon, and this science ship would head up over here. We would need a leader here, and we'll put our deputy overlord in charge of it. That'll be fine. And he's going to head out and start surveying out over this direction. Excellent. That looks good. Now, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, Carpetania is going to continue to spread across the stars in our shiny new robot bodies. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Sakaman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.